John 8:32. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And the truth is, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, no matter what you're going through, God can bring you through it. So stand up and declare that you definitely gonna make it. And there ain't nothing but the truth, the whole truth, all truth. Yeah, that's right. This is strong truth.
You're exactly where you're supposed to be. But the truth, that is what'll set you free. You're stronger than what it seems. Be free, be who you're called to be. With you on this journey, you can make it. You can make it. It's just a lies and deception. It can be misleading. You can make it. You can make it. Just keep believing. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? It's the one and only Strong Jones
And Precious.
and we're here with today's episode of the Strong Truth Podcast, where we vow to tell nothing but the truth,
The whole truth.
our truth, the strong truth. So, Pret, what you want to talk about today?
Listen, today we're going to talk about intentionality, being intentional.
What's going on, everybody? It's the one and only Strong Jones.
And Precious.
And we need y'all to do us a favor. We need y'all to go follow us on all social media at the Strong Truth Podcast. That's YouTube,
Instagram,
TikTok,
and Facebook.
so that y'all can keep up with everything that we doing. So what you mean by, like, what that mean, intentionality?
Just doing things on purpose, doing things with meaning, like not by accident. Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, right? And then it goes on and it says what type of plans he has for us. He says, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, right? And then it says plans to give you hope in the future. So God was already intentional about each and every one of us before we were even here. He was intentional. He knew what he was doing. He had plans for us. And so we're supposed to be reflecting God, right? So we should be living with intentionality in all that we do.
Facts. That's dope. Like,
Yeah.
and I think it's so important to have intentionality. Like, in anything, you need to be intentional about. Like, what's the 5 P's? You know, I learned this in college. Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Wow, you taught me something. Okay.
Like,
I feel like I heard that before, but okay.
yeah, but that basically mean be intentional about
Yes.
like, and what Deion say? Deion Sanders,
What?
when you, hey, what's the saying? He be
I
like,
don't
you
know.
look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you play good.
Okay.
Something like that. And
Yes.
when you play good, they pay good. So
Ooh.
like,
No, that's really good. I've never heard that for sure, but I think I heard the P stuff.
the 5
before.
P's. Yeah. But what I got out of that, be intentional about what you're doing. Prepare.
Yeah.
Like, prepare.
Yeah.
Cause you know you get good outcomes with that. And when it comes to us and God, it's like he already knew. Like even to this day, like before you were born, like speaking of Jeremiah, like
Yeah.
he told Jeremiah, but I knew you like when you was in the womb, like you feel me? Like you just a little
What you finna say? What you finna say? Look what?
Lord have mercy.
What you finna say? Not grasshopper. Not
You ain't
grasshopper.
grasshopper, you just you're a little cell floating
Oh,
around.
got
You feel
you.
me? You just floating around. The Lord already know. Like this little cell right here,
Yeah.
he gonna be the president of the United States. The little cell right here, she gonna be a doctor. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And you got to be intent. That's so good that you said that, because if God already has plans for us, that means we should be living in a way that's aligning with the plan that God has for us. Because see, what happens is I feel like we get out of alignment and we start doing things our own way.
on.
We have a verse in Ephesians 5:15-16, and it tells us to be careful in how we live. It talks about how we should live carefully, because we want to make sure we're not veering away from the purpose, the plan that God has for us, you know, not just living unwisely. And I think that we've all been there, though. We've all lived unwise when we were in the world and just doing whatever felt good, whatever everybody else was doing, you know, that's unwise living. You know, we supposed to be making every opportunity. We supposed to capitalize on every opportunity that we have. Because the thing is, I know I went through a spell of wondering what my purpose was. You know, and so when you're outside of God's will, you do feel like what am I even doing? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? And I think I went through that because I was trying to do things by my own might. I was trying to do things that everybody else was doing. I was trying to do things that felt right, but it wasn't really right. And so I think that's what that is. We want to do everything unto the Lord. And so it made me evaluate myself. I talk about all the time the isolation season and that season of healing that the Lord took me through. And it was all about refocusing. It was all about redirecting my purpose and later getting in alignment.
Right, so I got a question for you.
What's up?
When was it time like when you kind of got into a little bit,
Okay.
but when was the time when you feel like I literally get intentional about what I'm finna do, or it can like just cause me like something personal?
I honestly would say the Lord prepared me, and it was like it started making sense. 2020 is when it was like, oh, I got to do something. It was like a shift started happening. I don't really know. And I think all throughout college something was different, but 2018 was a very pivotal year for me in a lot of ways. I was a smoker and I stopped smoking, and I stopped for a long period of time or whatever. And it was that, and then going through that healing journey where God was exposing certain skeletons, if you will. And 2020 was just like, okay, I gotta find God. Like, I gotta make sense of what I'm doing. Like 2020 was kind of like, it was, I remember one day I was at a friend's house and randomly, you know how 2020 vision is like when you can see clearly, right?
Come on, that's
and
fine.
one day I was sitting at a friend's house and the Lord dropped it in my spirit. Like 2020 is for 2020 vision. And I kid you not, I don't even remember what year this was, but there was a time where I didn't go blind. I wouldn't say I
This
went
was
blind.
before 2020?
I can't remember at this moment. I wish I could like ask mama or whatever the case is. And there was someone else that I know experienced this as well. I want to ask them because it was around the same time. One of my eyes literally went blurry for I know like a month. Literally strong. Like I could see clearly out of one eye, but one of my other eyes, and I can't remember which eye it was, literally was blurry strong. And I felt like I was hostage or something. Like I felt it was scary because I'm like, am I going blind? Like, am I going blind? And it literally, like, I'm looking in my eye, I'm putting my finger in there, I'm putting eye drops in there constantly. I did not know what that was, but I know in 2020 was for 2020 vision.
Okay, I like that.
That was so good to me. But what about you? I need you to answer that.
Oh, I got you. Look around the podcast.
Let's go.
I had to be very intentional about doing this because one, I didn't feel like it was like, this is not Alfred Strong Jones podcast.
Okay.
We both know, and everybody should know that like this is dedicated to the Lord Jesus Christ. This he using us as tools, but with that being said, it was like, okay, God, how do you want me to do this? Like, I had to be very intentional about it. The colors, the name, the people who was a part of it. Like, I was very intentional about it. Like, God, who you want to be a part of? Because I know, y'all know, I'm gonna say this before, like, the people I first chose at first, like it wouldn't, they ain't come through.
Yeah.
Like, not that they didn't, but it was just like, I would have been going against the prayer that I prayed to the Lord. Like, Lord, you send me the people. Of course, you got to put work behind, faith. So I tried to go find them, but it was like, nah, that ain't it.
Because would you say that the purpose didn't align with why you wanted to get the people and why God wanted you to get the people? Because if you
say it again,
like, because remember we were talking about being intentional is about doing things with purpose. So when you're talking about getting the podcast together and you choosing certain people, was the purpose behind you getting certain people in alignment with why God wanted you to get certain people?
Yeah. So of course, I got to open my mouth and say, hey, I got this podcast. I got this vision.
Right.
Do you want to be a part of it? I'm going to be that too. But in doing that, I may be asking the wrong person, which is what happened. You get what I mean? And it's no knock to them. It's no knock to them people, but because Bring it back to intention. God already, even before he gave me the idea of the podcast, he already knew,
He already knew
I'm
the
going to use him to establish a podcast, and I already got the people set aside. He was already intentional. I don't know God thoughts or his stuff, but like I just know, okay, pay attention to this, pay attention to that. And God this is part of being intentional too when it comes to us.
Yeah.
God will let us bump our heads to learn stuff, to start seeing stuff. That don't necessarily mean, and when I say bump your head, it ain't necessarily in a bad way. It's just like experience is the greatest teacher.
Yeah.
That's something that he intentionally let us go through experiences so we can learn like what to do and what not to do.
Do you think it's okay, I have this, and this might be controversial, I don't know. But Strong, do you think that experience is the greatest teacher? Like, do you think that experience is the greatest teacher? Now, I want you to think about this, okay? Because this is almost like those cliche sayings or sayings that we thought was in the word and stuff like that, come as you are and all the things. Like, we interpret certain things to be that, or we make certain things be that because it makes sense or whatever the case is. But is experience the greatest teacher? And it ain't, well, go ahead.
I'm gonna double down and say yeah.
Okay.
Like, and I'm gonna tell you why, because and no, it's not in the Bible, like verbatim.
Okay.
Like, and everything that's in the Bible, like, you know, I mean everything that's not in the Bible, sometimes you still just got some good saying. But I honestly believe it is, because like how somebody got to go through it. Everybody can't, but somebody got to go through it to be able to teach somebody. Like, yeah, it may, like, you may be able to tell me something, and I might be one of the people that just listen. Like,
absolutely,
you feel me? I ain't got to hit the wall or go through stuff, but I know for a fact when somebody go through something and they make it through, they don't need nobody to tell them nothing else. Like, you gonna remember it, like, cause you went through that. Like, you know, okay, I broke this when I was little. I broke this vase. My mama hadn't told me don't touch this vase, and she wore me out. I can already tell my nephews and nieces when I have them later on. I mean, when they hear, you better not break that vase, cause mama told my tail up when I did this. And why? Cause you don't even go back to probably breaking the vase. You go back to that whooping that you got. Joker taught you. Okay. Like, I don't know if that's a good example, but I mean, like, to answer your question, I think that it's definitely.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell you that's the worldly answer, and you got the answer wrong. I'm just kidding. But no, for real. So Strong, God not the greatest teacher?
I just said it. Okay, this how I'm looking at it.
You said it. Oh, you said experience.
I said God will intentionally. This is how I'm thinking. God will intentionally use experiences. He'll let us go through it. So, I mean, of course, he's the greatest teacher, but he uses.
So, boom. This is what I'm saying. The reason why I say that is because most times, like, even the scenarios that you gave with consequences that are that don't feel good per se. Hit touch pot, don't supposed to get a whooping, right? So, but you didn't say any good experiences. So it's almost like we already associate that quote or that saying with negative things for the most part. And so the reason why I say that God is just in general, God is the greatest teacher, because you got to think about it. There are certain things that we do learn through experience, but it's because we've experienced it on our own. We experienced it because that's what we wanted to do. So most times when we do things the way God wants us to do, granted, we're human. Nothing is going to just be gun-ho perfect all the time or whatever the case is. What?
What is gun-ho perfect?
You know, that's what they say. I thought.
One thing about Precious, she gonna make up a word or a saying. Remember what she said the other day?
What?
Rickamaroo.
That's funny.
My fault.
That's funny. But I do feel that just simply God is the greatest teacher. And I think that that's the whole purpose of us getting to this strong truth, because some stuff we don't even have to go through and we can still learn. Like, I know for me, and I'm just use this as an example, and I'm going to tell y'all this. If y'all keep hearing me talk about relationships and stuff like that, it's just a ministry that God planted my feet in, okay? I'm not pressed for no relationship. Do I need a husband? I do. For the things that God want me to do, I do need a husband. But I'm not mentioning relationships all the time because, I just can't. Like, it's nothing like that. It's just I know that the Lord is allowing me to operate in that avenue for purpose, okay? So I just need to throw out that disclaimer. I ain't have to, but I just did, so y'all can understand.
I know, good one.
So y'all can understand what
She did it, but you ain't explain that to them
I
folks.
know,
Man,
but
hey, she
I
gonna talk
know.
about these relationships, and if y'all don't want to listen, hey, that's on y'all. But if y'all do want to,
You right.
Hey, we gonna be on this journey together.
You right. So the reason why I said it is, dang, now what I was going to say. What I was saying before I said that. See, disclaimers be messing you up.
Didn't I just say you shouldn't did it? See,
God almighty. But anyway, what were we talking about before that? And I know my brain be going here and everywhere. You said, the word, I said a word, and you was like, one thing about the picture gonna make up a word.
Oh, that
gun hole.
Gun hole perfect.
Dang, see, I done.
Give it back to her.
Give it back to me, Laura.
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You know, I got another question.
Oh, dang, I want to remember that. It was something about relationships, though.
But we talking about intentionality now.
I know about being intentional about relationships, but it'll come back to me.
Let's stay there then.
Okay.
How important is intentionality to you in relationships? Because some people, it's let's just go with the flow. Like that is a big one in relationships. So, or do you think people should it's better to be more intentional than just go with the flow?
I think that if we're supposed to reflect God, and God says, I know I got a plan for you. He says plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. You should be having some type of plans. Now, granted, you meet somebody day one. Sometimes people say love at first sight. Sometimes people say, I knew that you was my wife. I knew you was my husband, whatever the case is. But I think culture has taught us to go with the flow. Culture has taught us to, let's just see where this goes or whatever the case is. No, I am very intentional. Let me tell you this story. So there was one time I was about to talk to this guy or whatever the case is. I knew he wanted to talk to me. And I was very intentional about figuring out, one, if he had kids, two, if he was single. Because don't waste my time. Like, don't be in my inbox. Do not be trying to run game, all this stuff. I was very intentional. So we probably sent maybe 3-4 texts back and forth before I said, okay, are you single? No, do you got kids? No, I asked if he was single. He said no. Why are you texting my phone? Why are you texting my phone? And you're not even single. Like, what is this? So he was like, we in this little woo-de-woo, and we know what's going on. It's a little complicated, but it ain't nothing crazy. It's not stressful. It was like he was trying to convince me that his situationship or whatever was cool. And I was like, y'all must got kids or something. This is my way to figure out if he had a kid. I said, y'all must got kids or something. Like, what you mean? And he was like, and granted, my cousin was like, girl, I would have been stopped texting him. But I just was trying to figure out, like, why are you saying that you in a relationship, but you really texting me comfortably? He said, like a Will and Jada type situation. Boy, you is in an entanglement.
Entanglement?
Yes, and you think you finna tangle me up?
Hey.
No, sir. So you just have to be intentional, and it's okay to cut things off. It's okay to cut things off. It's okay to say that does not align with the will of God for my life or the purpose that I'm trying to pursue or whatever the case is, and let that be that. What you think?
Yeah, I definitely think it's better to be more intentional than going with the flow, cause going with the flow done got me on the flow.
Hello.
When I got married, but even let me go back. Before I even got married, I was very intentional, how I wanted, my wife. What type of woman I wanted, what type of, I was intentional in my prayer to the Lord about it. Lord, I want to be a woman of God. Skin tone.
Come on, skin.
Size.
Yeah.
I'm just being for real. One thing my godfather had told me one day, he was, we was having a real, and y'all, hey, men and women, y'all can use this. Be real with yourself. Tell you truth. Strong truth. And this is my strong truth. He had told me, he was like, he said, son, ain't no use you being fake. If you know you like a woman with a big butt, you need that Lord. You feel me? Because your mind gonna go other place because you know what you want, but you gonna so. And the Lord will, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, if you intentionally serving the Lord, guess what He say?
He gonna give you the desires of your heart.
Come on. You feel me? So yeah, be intentional about it in everything. Be intentional about your prayer, like be intentional about your person. And God will show you. Like for me personally, I see to this day like little signs that I prayed for and things happening. Like in my relationship, like my wife may do something and I get that look like, dang, she really just did that. And she like, she hit that. What? Like, and I be in awe at the moment in time, like, you don't even know, like, I prayed for this years ago, like, type junk. And you, like, you just did it. Like, I ain't getting that, but yeah, like, just be intentional about it. Like, and this thing about intentionality, because when you're being intentional, you're expecting a certain outcome, right? A particular outcome. But in order for that outcome to happen, you got to do what? You have to stick directly to the plan.
Yeah.
So if you want that intentional outcome that God got for you, what you got to stick directly to His plan. Like you can't divert.
Yep.
Now, if you do divert, guess what? You may divert off the pathway, and guess what? You got a distraction over there. That distraction may God allow you to get back, but it might be a little harder to get back on this path. Like so, I believe this too. You can't. It's nothing is better than what it was the first time. And what I mean like that, like just say this in a relationship, like like say a man and a woman, they in a relationship, somebody have infidelity and cheat. Yeah, them people could stay together, right? Like after that, but that trust, I don't care what nobody say. That trust is kind of still like it's messed up after that first time. You probably get back together, y'all can work through it, but it's still maybe a little inkling in your back of your mind, like, oh, like is this a possibility? Because you wasn't intentional the first time of, being loyal.
Yeah.
You feel me? So God could bless the marriage and stuff again, but now or the relationship, and it's just like it's there, but it's being tainted. So when being intentional, stick with you first forgiven, stick with God first, promise you, like stick with that, and just trust it. Like trust it. It's the saying is trust the process.
Trust the process.
You feel me?
That's really good because the Bible even tells us not to run aimlessly. Like don't just be out here running willy-nilly like a chicken with your head cut off. We're supposed to do everything with purpose. Like, why are you doing that? What are you trying to get out of that? The Bible even says to do everything to get a prize. We're not just living this life just to live this life. Baby, we trying to get them pearlies. We're trying to get our mansion. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everything that we're doing, what is my reason for doing this? And if God had a plan for us not to harm us, why are we harming His people? Why do we have plans to harm people? And then sometimes we might say, well, I ain't mean to hurt them. Well, what was your other purpose? What if you didn't mean to hurt them, what other plan did you have not to? You get what I'm saying? So almost like you saying, even with the cheating or whatever, like people say, you can still love somebody and cheat. How? Like, I just feel like even when loving, love is really deep to me. Maybe that could be an episode. I don't know. Love is really deep to me. But I also feel like it's not as hard or not as, I can't say not as hard.
I don't think it's hard.
I don't think it's hard either, but
if you being it, come on.
If you being intentional.
Let's go.
It like if you are that's why it's like if you're not when dating, if your end goal, your prize, your purpose isn't to marry, what you doing? What are you even doing? So we just in this going through the motions, acting like we wife and husband, acting like we boyfriend and girlfriend, whatever the case is. But what is the end goal? Like, what are we doing? You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that even goes into that intentionality. Like, what is your intent behind? I remember one time, and I'm gonna let you talk. I remember this one time. This guy was like trying to talk to me, or whatever the case is, and I was like, "What you want with me?" That was my question. I was like, "What you want with me?" I want you and everything that come with you. But then I asked, but then gonna say, you ain't gotta ask all them questions. You ain't gotta try to get to know me all at once. But I thought you wanted that though. Cause that come with you get what I'm saying? Like, and this just asking questions. Like, I don't know you from a can of paint. How else am I supposed to know you? Why would I even want you if I don't even know who you are? So instantly it's kind of like you just have to make sure that in you operating in intentionality, that the people that you associate yourself with also, that's work, that's friendships, that's everything. everything.
So who was that I was watching? It was something I was watching and they was talking about, I wish, like, it's been some years back too. It was like this video, I don't know, was that a Drake video or something like that? And he was doing like an interview or something. He was just like, not, don't quote me on it, but I'm gonna find it. I think he was talking about he wished people would come up and tell him, like, when they first meet him, exactly what they want from him. Like,
Yes.
just show your intention.
Like, be real.
Like, yeah, like, what is, like, what you want from me? You want this money? You need a favor? You want a feature? Like, don't beat around the bush. And I thought about that, and I honestly think, like, the world would be such a better place if you just walked up and people could, like, tell you what they wanted directly, and it's either yeah or nay, or you feel me? Like, it'll be so much more. In you know, I just honestly believe it'll be a better place.
Because people always say, if you go ahead and tell me, then you give me the opportunity to decide if I want to stay or if I still want to fool with you, if I still want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Like, especially in relationships, like.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I have a verse. It's Proverbs 16:9. It says, a man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. And so the reason why I wrote this verse down is because it took me back to women wanting a particular man, like a man who is after God's own heart.
Come on, David.
Who loves God and love God in a way that their lives reflect. Because why? The Bible tells us that if you love me, then you'll keep my commands.
Come on.
So I know that if I love you, this is how you know when people love you. They don't want to hurt you. They want to do everything to make sure that you're good in a way. And so I say that because if a woman is wanting a particular man, I need to make sure that you're being led by God. I need to make sure that your decisions are led by God, not by the flesh, not by social media, not by your friends, but by God. That I can be comfortable in knowing that, oh, I'm good because my man, what y'all say? My man, right? Because I know that he is going to God about decisions to make. I know that he is going to God about how to communicate with me. I know that he's going to God about how to handle me, how to deal with me. And so if he's doing that and I'm doing that, that's where that love, like how Strong was like, I feel like love is easy. It is when you seek God. I think that that shows intentionality. I think that shows intentionality for sure. When we put God first on purpose.
Hallelujah. What's going on, everybody? It's the one on the Strong Jones.
And Precious.
I'm Marlisha. I'm one of the CEOs of J2 Streaming. We offer streaming through a Fire Stick and internet. All you need to do is just basically plug your Fire Stick up to your TV and just have decent internet. Our live channels offer over like 8,000 channels. We also offer the newest movies, the series, and the lowest monthly fee is only $20 a month, and that covers you. No contract, you pay as you want to. You can reach us at 478-347-1314. We also have a Facebook group, ATC21 by J2, or you can visit the website at www.atc21.com.
So that's interesting that you say, about, women wanting the man to lead, and even going back to what I was saying earlier, like men want, women to be submissive and all that type of stuff.
Right.
Like we basically, like, both genders want we got stuff that we want, right?
Yes.
So that's why it's so good to find God's intentional plan for us, because in that he gonna, he got an intentional order the way things should be too. Like you just said, like, is this man gonna lead me the way God want to be led? Like when you're being intentional with, and I mean, this is my advice, when you're being intentional when it comes to relationships and you're trying to, okay, I want to find this person, like the right person. If you intentionally work on yourself and let God, make you the person that you need to be, And then it will not be hard for you to find that person, because now that you've intentionally worked on yourself, you're gonna, like, God's plan is gonna intentionally draw you to that person.
To the person. Okay.
You know what I mean? And then that person is going to, they should have been already intentionally worked on themselves. And guess what? Now you're in God's intentional order. The man leading like he's supposed to. You feel me? He's seeking God in his every decision.
Okay.
But that way he can lead, his family type thing.
That's
So
good.
yeah, I was just like, you can find that intentionality in everything.
In everything. Listen, because I'm literally sitting here like, what about being intentional with your mindset?
Come on.
Being intentional about your mindset. Even the scripture that comes to me is, although this is saying man, this is man in humanity, where it says, when I was a child, I act like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child.
Who that was? Brother Paul?
Ooh, I don't remember what that was. Probably.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But when I got older or whatever, I put away my childish ways. Like, your mindset should be shifting. Your mindset should be changing. You should be intentional about the way that you think. Like, I think we had a conversation. I don't remember where we were. Oh, maybe at the Dayton Guys Way meeting, where we were like, men want to say that, they just not dogs, but predators, and they just want this. They just want. And I'm like, women want just as much as men want. I don't understand why y'all feel like God just created beautiful women. He made handsome men. He made some good body. You know what I'm saying? He did all the things. So it's kind of like men have now been attached, and women use it as an excuse as well. Like, he like that.
Have to defend me.
Listen, because men like this because that's just who they are. That's in their nature and all the things. Baby, women be wanting some of the same things, and we just got to call a spade a spade. So it's kind of like, we think that, I got to have that. I got to have that. Even with your statement earlier, it's kind of like, yes, be very intentional about the things that you want. That's why we write it down. What do you say? Write down a plan, make it plain.
Yeah,
that's intentionality. I'm being intentional about my plans. I'm being intentional about alignment. I'm being intentional about all these things. So that's why I'm writing it down. Sometimes, remember, don't run aimlessly. So you can't have no plan. You can't not have a plan and feel like things just gonna, in a way, be what you want it to be. It's just gonna be what it be. So my question is, are you the person on trips or whatever? Are you planning? Or you just, whatever we do, we just going with the flow?
I'm laughing because I ain't finna plan no trip.
Oh gosh.
But I'm gonna go. You gonna know that I'm gonna go. You gonna know that I'm gonna participate in everything. Like, we gonna have some fun. Like, my intention is to get on the trip and go have fun. Exactly. Like, we gonna have fun, but yeah, don't let me plan no trip.
You're not a planner.
Like,
okay.
No, I'm not no planner. Not a trip planner.
Not a trip planner. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm a trip planner.
Yeah. And you know what? I think the whole Strong True podcast, like, we need to go for. Matter of fact, we do got a trip. For real.
Okay.
The podcast festival.
Ooh. Oh yeah, for sure.
Road trip.
For sure. But I'm saying, like, even too, like, in itinerary type situation, like, okay, we going there, what we doing? You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like, what are we doing? Because then we gonna get. And see, I think the reason why I like to plan is because I don't want to waste no time. Being intentional with your time is a real thing too. Because remember, earlier we was talking about, are we in these relationships or whatever case is, or we just going with the flow, whatever case is. While you going through the flow, you could be wasting time.
Facts.
You could have been with your wife. You could have been with your, like, you know what I'm saying? But you just going with the flow. And so for me, I like to plan for trips. I like to plan stuff because we got time for this. Boom, we're gonna do that. When we come back, we're gonna do this, then we're gonna do that. So that, like, and if we ever want to adjust the plan, we can always adjust.
So what you saying that cannot be intentional delay stuff?
I think so.
Okay.
Because we should be again, the Bible says, don't run aimlessly. So that means we already supposed to be running.
Right.
That means we already supposed to be in motion. So we got 24 hours every single day. What are we doing? Are we being intentional with our time? So if you are not being intentional with your time, time is passing you by. So while we waiting on the mail, and we not we waiting on the mail.
You got revelation.
But we not intentionally where we supposed to be. Boom, we finna go on the trip.
Mm-hmm.
But you done decided you finna go do this, that, and third, whatever the case is. But your mail done arrived at the house and you got to sign for it.
Mm-hmm.
So now the mail done went to FedEx. Now you got to go out your way. You got to go out your way to go get your mail. Now you rush, man. It's when you ain't in alignment, stuff just bouncing from walls, going from north to east to west, because you're not in position.
There you go. Like, yeah, being intentional and doing what you're supposed to do can have you in position. Like, and that's why I asked that question.
Yeah.
Can it delay or even deny stuff?
Yes.
Like, going to the Word of God, like, that's why I believe, one of our favorite scriptures is study to show thyself approved.
Absolutely.
So you'll know. I believe the Lord intentionally put that there. So, like, us as being believers and trying to win souls, like, God, the way he does stuff, he has you made, like, for example, he may have you go to this place. You don't know why, but something drew you to that place. You had to go there that day. You don't never do, like, that's God intentionally doing that. He's like, Lord, why am I here? You might not even think to yourself while you're there. You just, you did that place in time, but you may be finna have to cross paths with somebody, right? And what you need to help that person, you have had to spend intentional time with the Lord reading your Bible, because he says still show thyself approved. You may need a verse or something that may help that person in that specific situation.
Yeah.
That could be life and death. And if you don't say you'll get to the situation, right?
Yeah.
But you ain't got what you need.
Yeah.
You ain't got what you need. So what could happen? You could do more harm than good. Like, you might tell somebody something that you shouldn't have told them, or you may say something to them that you wouldn't have said if you had that knowledge and you intentionally gave your time and studied, because you know what, I got this verse to use. This our sword. This what I can use to help this person. This what the Bible say.
Right.
Type thing. You
That's
feel me?
good.
Like, yeah. So it's definitely important to be intentional. And I want to ask you this. So, what is the example in the Bible where, like, you feel where you know that God was intentional about? Like, cause he give us multiple examples. Like, what is one of the stories in there that you think?
The first person that came to mind was Job. He was intentional about who he chose for Satan to. Wait, Satan?
That was whatever. Scoundrel, mud,
The enemy.
Dog.
But it was.
I'm trashing.
It was. I feel like he was very intentional on who he chose, because he could have chose Peter. You know what I'm saying? But he knew I can't choose Peter, because I know Peter already finna deny me 3 times. And he finna be whatever the enemy tell him to do, he probably gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I can't choose can't choose
Right,
Judas.
they're gonna betray me.
He ready to hop on the bandwagon. So I think he was very intentional.
Well, hold on
about
though,
choosing him.
hold on. Son just can't. I'm a kind of
Go against that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because the thing is, he did choose Judas though. Somebody had to betray him. Like, he already knew. Like, I believe that was intentional before it already happened. Like, one of y'all got to betray me.
Okay.
And
But them 2 different situations though.
Yeah, definitely. But
Yeah.
I believe in all situations, God got his hands on it.
Oh, for sure.
So he's intentional, whether it's good or bad.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact,
Yeah, that's so true.
my fault. Go ahead. You was
No,
you was
it's
in the
fine.
spiel.
But you're absolutely right. That just was my example now.
Oh,
I
okay,
could have
yeah.
I could have went through a couple other ones, you know what I'm saying? Because I can even say I feel like he was intentional about giving Mary Joseph, and he was intentional about giving Ruth Boaz. I could have just went in so many different areas there, but I just used Job because I see myself as being Job a little bit, So
Come on, Joe.
yeah, I think he chose all of them people that I just said, and even for you giving your example, even though it was supposed to be my example to give.
I'm sorry.
But no, he was intentional about literally everything in the Bible. So that Job was just who came to mind at first. Because he was even intentional about using Peter, to deny him. So he's an intentional man. He's an intentional man. He's a purposeful man. You know, and all the things. So, what about you? Give me one of your examples. Now you can't give Judas because you done gave it already. Out of turn.
Man, one of my favorite stories. My fault. One of my
I'm joking.
favorite stories is Joseph.
Okay. Wait, Joseph married Joseph or with the brothers?
Yeah, with the brothers.
Okay.
12 tribes Israel, dreamer.
Okay.
But
Tight.
like, to me, that's one of them. Probably the most intentional story in the Bible, like purpose. Cause look at it.
Mm-hmm.
He was, with his brothers or whatever, and his brothers became jealous of him. But in it, God literally, like his whole life, he literally had to go from the pit to the palace. Like God literally used everything to happen. Like I was reading that story today, and I didn't know why. So it makes sense. Yeah.
That was intentional.
Fact. So I was reading and I learned something new. Like, so at the beginning of the story where like his brothers was jealous of him, because his father loved him the most because he had him in his late age. But what happened was God ended up he sent his dad, which is what's his name? Jacob. Jacob sent Joseph go check on his brothers who was working out there in the field or whatever. And backtrack. Joseph had some dreams, like 2 dreams about basically he was like in one dream it was like these sheaves or basically hay or whatever. It was like 12 of them. And they all bowed down to this one. Yeah. And they say that his brothers hated him because they was basically like, I'm paraphrasing, like, we supposed to serve you. The boy just had a dream that God intentionally gave it to him. And then he had another dream where it was like the sun and the moon and the stars bowed down to him too. And his dad actually rebuked him about that. But it's like, this is what God gave it to him. Yeah. But this got all part of God's plan. So long story short, he ended up going checking on his brothers. They had plotted to kill him, but the oldest brother, Reuben, was like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
So what they ended up doing is throwing him in the pit. And when they did that, like, they seen that some I think medium night. So anyway, some foreign people came, and when they came by, they basically sold them. But and this is something I just learned. I done read this story multiple times, but I learned today that when Reuben found out that they had sold him, the oldest brother, he ripped his clothes, rented his clothes or whatever. Basically, in the Bible, what I get out of that is that when something bad happened, they ripped the clothes and maybe put ashes on his head. And I was just like, you know what, Reuben, if he was there, because it tells you, like, I was looking at the little footnotes, it was like Reuben wasn't there at the moment in time. So when his brother got sold. So anyways, though, he got sold. But I look at intentionality in that too, because with Reuben being the oldest, and he knew, like, my father he loved all of us, but he loved Joseph the most. If he found out that we done something to him, Reuben probably would have stopped them for selling his brother, because he did, when they was plotting on killing him, he was the one that stopped and said, don't put no hand on him. So that's why they put him in the pit instead. Okay. So even the intentionality of God was, let me move Reuben, because this is the oldest child. He gonna think more about what the punishment than what his brothers is. Yeah. Joseph gets sent down to Egypt or whatever. He go first to Potiphar's house, and then Potiphar's wife basically tried Joseph, try to get him sleep with him like every day. But God raised Joseph up in Potiphar's house. Basically, he was like the head servant. He ran everything. The only thing he didn't have was access to Potiphar's wife. But she kept trying Joseph. Yeah. Until that coat that he had, whatever, he when she tried him, when nobody in the house, the Bible say that day, and he didn't lay with her again. He resisted her. She screamed, basically he raped her. Woo! Now Potiphar knew that this wasn't true, but guess what? He had to throw Joseph in prison. Dang. And it seemed like, God, dang. And when this first started, like, the Bible said that Joseph was 17. Aww. Yeah, he was 17 years old. So, anyways, he get down to Egypt. He go through the Potiphar's house situation. Then he get thrown in prison. Like, so imagine this: you getting sold by your family, your brothers. Family, yeah. You go down to this place and you make a name for yourself. Your life is, you in a whole different country. Like but you go there, and the place where you at, you start making a name for yourself, start doing good. Like it sucks, but you still, it's not as bad. And now you ain't did nothing but your job. Dang. And then somebody try to like they screen rape on you. Now you get thrown in prison.
Sabotage your character.
Yeah, so when you get thrown in prison, guess what? God still he intentional. Cause all along this guy playing. You in prison. But you down there so long, guess what? Even the guards start giving you favor, whatever. So they kind of make you like, the trustee.
Yeah.
And when they make you the trustee, you kind of, how trustees have a little extra privileges or whatever.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening was to a Pharaoh. Pharaoh was the king of Egypt. To his servants got thrown down there. The butler and the what's the other thing? The baker. So they down there and they down there with Joseph for a while. They tell Joseph what's going on, but one day Joseph see these fellas and like they been down there while with Joseph like, what's going on with y'all? Man, we had some dreams. Like, okay, Joseph, tell them to me.
Yeah.
So they tell Joseph dreams. God give Joseph the interpretation. The baker tell him his dream, and long story short, it went pretty for him. Like, in 3 days, they gonna come get you and they gonna chop your head off.
Oh. My goodness, you would
Well, look at here.
could have kept that.
Exactly. But he tell the butler in 3 days, you can get raised back up to your position. But when you do, don't forget about little old me.
Yeah.
Long story short, 3 days come, they gonna get both of them. One of them, head chopped off. The other, he get raised back up to the king. He in the palace now. All right.
Wow.
2 more years. 2 years passed. Joseph still in prison. 2 years passed. But now what's going on is the guy, the butler, Pharaoh, the king, he started having dreams. And none of his musicians, none of the people that's supposed to be able to interpret his wise men, couldn't nobody tell him what the dreams meant. But here go God. The butler remembered. Hey, you know what? When I was down there in prison, this guy interpreted my dreams and told me that I would get raised back up to my job. And it happened just like he said.
Wow.
He might can do it. He tell Pharaoh this. Joseph in the pits of this country, in a foreign country, in the prison.
Yeah.
Oh yeah? Go down there and get him. Go down there and get Joseph. They make him, they get him straight. He clean himself up, get clean, because he finna go in front of the king. But this is the crazy part about it. So when Joseph get there, Pharaoh tell him the dreams. He actually had 2 dreams, but there was one. He interpreted the dreams. And then Joseph then he told Pharaoh what they meant and everything. And then he told him what he should do to help it. Basically, a famine was finna come. You're gonna have 7 good years, and then you're gonna have 7 bad years. But if you prepare, intentionality, you get intentional about how you handle these 7 good years, you can survive these 7 bad years. So that's exactly what he did. But Pharaoh said, is there any as wise as this man did? Is there a man that we can find to do this?
Yeah.
Well, no man. So guess what Pharaoh say? None is as wise as you, Joseph.
Oh, come on, Joseph.
So guess what? At that point, Pharaoh gave him his ring and told him, you basically gonna be second in command. He said, only I on the throne will be higher than you. Wow. So basically, you Pharaoh. You basically Pharaoh. Only I can tell you basically what to do. From the pit to the palace. So God had purpose the whole time.
From the pit to the palace.
Now, hey, it get even better. Now, and it say, the Bible tell you, he was about 30 years old when he got rose up to second in command. So a span of 13 years. He was 17 when he first got sold. He was 30 years old when he actually, became like God rose him all the way up.
Right.
Now this is the beautiful part about the story, how intentional it is. God gave him the dream about the famine and all that stuff to Pharaoh. He interpreted. The famine hit the land, but this what was so crazy about it. It didn't just hit Egypt. It hit the whole world. The famine hit the whole world. So the 7 good years came. Joseph ended up getting married, had 2 children, all that stuff. Now when the famine hit the world, guess what? Their daddy down there in the other country, hey man, he tell them boys, like, look at here, what y'all doing? Like, they hear the news and travel.
Yeah.
It's food down there in Egypt. Go down there and get us some. All right. Guess what they do? They going on down there. Now, the 7 good years went by, the bad years to hit now. And Joseph is over all this stuff now. They stand in line. They got Joseph got to ration it out. He's over all this. Guess who walking up? Them same brothers.
Yep. And
That sold him.
Mm-hmm.
That sold him all them years ago.
Yep.
So guess what? When they came, they ain't even recognize Joseph. It's been 13 years later.
Yeah, my boy done bossed up, really.
For sure. God had intentional plan.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, they seen Joseph seen him, and he basically they wanted to get it, but Joseph had to go weep to himself because that pain had done hit him like, y'all niggas done sold me. Like, y'all done sold me, and now y'all, but intentionality.
Mm-hmm.
They had to come bow down. They had to come bow down. And remember, 13 years early, he had a dream that these haystacks,
ooh,
you feel me?
Talk about haystacks.
It say he. So
Okay.
the corn or whatever the food had bowed down to his. Now guess what they come doing? Bowing down, begging for some food. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so he tell him he used wisdom, whatever. He's intentional about his plan. I'm gonna set them up. Basically, go down there, get it, bro. He got a plan to get his father and all that down there. So what he did, he had like, he basically like one of them stole something. He put a cup in there. Yeah. And he knew the plan already. So you know what? Like, I'm finna set them up. He made a plan where it was like one of them stole from him, but he really wasn't trying to, like, he was trying to get it where his father came down there.
Yeah.
So long story short, he kept one of the brothers, and they thought they was in prison, but the whole time they told him, go down there and get your brother. But Reuben, the oldest one, basically like, we can't. Like, we already lost our brother. They telling this to Joseph. Like, they telling him, like, bro, like, our father heart would not be able to take it. Like, we already lost one son. We can't leave another one here.
Yeah.
Joseph, no. So they end up going. He told him to go get Benjamin, which was his youngest brother. Mm-hmm. And Benjamin and Joseph had the same mama. Their other brothers didn't.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, they get Benjamin. Benjamin had to, he tell them to bring Benjamin and everything once he seen Benjamin. And they was like, Reuben told him, like, hey, basically, like, Pop, this man just told us, like, he ain't gonna he's not gonna release Buddy, like our other brother, and he's not gonna give us no food unless Benjamin come. Mm-hmm. And his father, remember, I already lost Joseph. Now you won't lose my other son by Rachel. Rachel was his y'all go read the story, but that was his main wife, like, around them times. So anyways, when he get there, he see Benjamin, and he revealed, long story short, he revealed himself to his brothers. Mm-hmm. And they like, what in the world? Yeah. Once Benjamin got down there, and he let them know this is everything that God did for me. He had let out a cry when he let out a cry. Like, say he went into his house, sent everybody out, and he let that cry out. I believe that cry was, Lord, like, I had to go through all this. God had an intentional plan. But this is the thing. Once he revealed himself, his father and all his father's house, this is all, Jacob is, the other name is Israel. So all the children of Israel and the 12 brothers, Joseph and his brothers or whatever, are the 12 tribes of Israel. They come from that.
Oh, okay.
That's where you get that from, them 12 brothers. So this is a whole nation already. Like, it's a whole nation that Joseph had to go through that to preserve a whole nation of Israel. One man, that was God's plan. Mm-hmm. So the whole punishment of your brothers hating you, your brother, like, people even say that's bad, but listen, the hate had to happen so I can send you down here, because I know y'all can't see it now. But 13 years down the road, really more than that, because the 13 years, that's when he became second in command, and then 7 years a good year. Mm-hmm. So then really 20 years down the road, I'm finna put a famine on this whole earth. Wow. And I'm finna put one of y'all on in command to take care of this whole nation. God had an intentional plan. Wow. So him being saved, his brother, him having the dreams, his brothers hating on him, his daddy them, like, rebuking him, like, him going through prison, the lady called him rape on him, all that stuff seemed like, dang, that's some bad stuff. Yeah. But it was all part of God's purpose. God was very, very, very intentional about how I'm finna do this. Yeah. Yeah. But Joseph could have at any point in that road said, man, I want to give up. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure Joseph suicide crossed his mind. Mm-hmm. Like, my family don't love me. I'm in the foreign land. Like, he could have folded to the lady, slept with the lady. Right. At any point, like, I'm already, you get what I mean?
Yeah,
He probably, I don't care what nobody say. Thoughts probably when he say, okay, I probably could have slept with Potiphar's wife. She would at least treated me good. Like that stuff could have went through it. Yeah, like, but he stayed intentional to God's path. Because guess what? He feared the Lord. And when he feared the Lord, you seen what God did for him. Now imagine if at any point he wasn't intentional about serving the Lord.
Yeah.
His whole family would have been wiped out when the time came. And that's the important part of having and following God's intentional plan, because it may not seem like it right now, but you don't know how many years a day gonna come.
Yeah.
You just never know when
it is.
Yeah, when it is. So like, and your reward be great. Joseph died. Joseph lived to be 110. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna end this. His children, when he ended up having children, and all that he went through, one of the names of his son's name was basically, God caused me to forget everything I went through. So after he went through everything, his family came down, he had his children also. Guess what? God literally wiped away the struggle for him. You feel me?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, like it's Manasseh and Ephraim. I think it's their
okay.
Yeah, it's their name. One of the two means that God caused me to forget all my, my strife.
Okay.
So even with that, God can't, like, you may go through your suffering, you may go through stuff, but if you be intentional about serving the Lord, I promise you, it's a purpose there. Like, And
the Bible says it all works together for the good of those that love Him. So stuff might be hard, and I'm really glad that you went through that story, and we definitely can end on that because that was really good. It all works together. It all works together. That's good.
Fat. So like, man, y'all be intentional. Be intentional about everything in life. Get intentional with your walk with Christ. Get very intentional and just watch God work things out for you. Yep.
The strong truth done did it again.
Truth is, you're so strong. Truth is, He won't lead you wrong. The strong truth, there's no lies. The strong truth will open up your eyes.
Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against thee shall prosper, and any tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. For this is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness of me, said the Lord. And again I say, no matter who you are, no matter where you from, no matter what you're going through, God can definitely bring you through it. You are strong enough, and that ain't nothing but the truth, the whole truth, our truth. Yeah, that's right. It's the strong truth.